So we are on page 363. Check your homework. Question 1, x less than negative 11. We know how to graph, right? The graphing of it is negative 11, and here open circle, and this down to the left. Question 2, x less than or equal 4. X less than or equal 4, right? Like this, right? Or you can write it like this, x less than or equal 4. It is the same. This is 4, close circle, and this down or equal also to the left. Question 3, x less than or equal 9. This is the 9, close circle to the left. Question 4, x more than negative 7.5. X more than negative 7.5, or 7 and 1 over 2, and you can write it like this, x more than negative 7.5. It's the same. Here negative 7.5. It's between negative 6 and negative 7. Sorry, negative 7 and negative 8. It's at the middle between them. Open circle and to the right. Question 5, x more than or equal 3. This is a 3, close circle to the right. Question 6, x less than negative 16. Less than negative 16. This is negative 16, open circle and to the left. Question 7, x less than or equal 15. This is the 15, close circle to the left. Question 8, x more than 12, right? X more than 12, it's on a 12, open circle to the right. Question 9, x more than or equal 19.2. X more than or equal 19.2. 19.2, it's between which two numbers?
19 and 20.
Between 19 and 20. To be more specific, it's between 19 and 19 and a half, right? So it's close to 19. So you'll go to the 19 and the 20 at the half and go closer to 19, okay? Got it? So here, if this 19, it will be close to 19. Not on 19, 19.2, and to the right. Okay, guys? This is question 9. Now, question 10, the question said, select all, and not only one, can be more than one answer. Got it? Select all of the inequalities whose solution sets can be represented by the number line below. The solution is what here in the number line? It started at what point? At 1.6, right? And goes to the right and open circle. So what's the solution will be? X more than 1.6, right? What you need to do here, you will solve each inequality. If you have the solution x more than 1.6, then you select it. If you don't, then you don't, right? So here in question 10, the solution which is given by graphing is x more than 1.6. From where we get this solution? From the number line, right? See the number line? Now what you need to do to solve the question? You need to solve each inequality in this question. If you have this solution, you select it. If you don't select it. The question, the solutions are the second and the third one. The second and the third one. So select The second one, which is negative 8 more than x over negative 0.2. If you multiply them both sides negative 0.2, it will be x more than 1.6, which is the solution. And the third one, negative 10x, is less than negative 16. These are the two selections, the second and the third one, okay? This is your homework. Check your answers, please. Check your answers. Okay, our new lesson is page 365. So we are on page 365, module 7, lesson 5. Write and solve one step multiplication and division inequalities, right? Inequalities. Today is, what's the date for today? What, 26? 26? 26 December. Now, what's the difference here between this lesson and the previous lessons? What's the difference? And what's the difference between this lesson and the previous lesson, Mr.? The question gave you the inequality and you solve it, right? But here, we will write the inequality, then we will solve it. Notice that we took addition and subtraction inequalities, right? Then we did write and solve addition and subtraction inequalities, right? Come in. Now we took multiplication and division inequalities. Now what we will take? Write and solve multiplication and division inequalities. So be careful in your next quiz or your next exam. I will give you normal inequalities and I will give you problem solving. You will write the inequality and you will solve it. So be careful when you will use addition and subtraction and when you will use multiplication and division, right? Huh? The two lessons, write and solve in addition and subtraction, multiplication and division, care about them very much, okay? Now, there are some keywords. There are some keywords for multiplication and division. For example, the keywords of multiplication like what? Product, right? Product means what? The answer of the multiplication. I say 2 multiply 6 equal 12. So what I call the 12? It is the product of 2 multiply 6. Like the word times, of. Some keywords tells you about the multiplication, right? How about the division? Quotient, صح? Divided by, distributed by on, right? So there are some keywords from the question tells you or tell you about what? Over. A lot of words, okay? So you need to be careful about these key words. So let's start directly with example 1, page 365. So we are in example 1, page 365. And we know the idea here, how we name the variable. What's the variable always? The variable is the missing thing in the question, right? So you will read the question and you will search about what's the question asked me about. For example, the question asked me about the number of the students. So what I will say, let x be the number of the students. So you name the variable depending on your question. Plus, there are a lot of words also. We took them in write and solve addition and subtraction equalities. How you know if it's more than or less than? Remember, at least, at most, no more than, no less than. Remember the table in the previous lesson, we'll use the same words also. So let's start with example 1, page 365. Read يا عصام, يلا. Raise up your voice. Yeah. That's Ling is working at the zoo, right? At the zoo. You know the zoo. That. Ling earns $15 per, yeah, each 1 hour she worked, she took how much money? $15. So in 1 hour, Ling earns $15 for 1 ايش hour. كل 1 hour تاخذ 15. خلاص. Continue. That's the question asked me about what? To determine the number of the hours. So the number of the hours is missing, is unknown. So what's our variable? Any letter, whatever, X, H, L, M, بدك إياه, but represents what? The number of hours. So let H, because hours, let H be the number. Yep, this is very important. Very important. To determine your variable. Your variable represents what? Got it? This is very important. Let H be the number of the hours. Of the hours. Okay? Top. Ling earns $15 per 1 hour. Does that mean that we have only 1 hour? No. This is how much salary she takes. Only the owner of the zoo tells her that if you're working with me on each 1 hour, I will give you $15. Maybe she will work 3 hours per day, 5 hours per day, 6 hours per day. We don't know. That's why the question asked me to determine the number of the hours. That's why I said let H be the number of the hours, because it is unknown. Continue. At least means what? More than or equal. يعني the question asked me about if she work 1 hour each day. Sorry, if she earns $15 per 1 hour, how many hours she need to work to get $225 or more? At least means 225 or more, يعني more than or equal. Do you understand? Right. If she worked, focus with me now to prepare the inequality. If she worked 5 hours, how much money she will take? 5 by multiply 15. مش each hour 15. 5 hours, 5 multiply 15. صح? 7 hours, 7 multiply 15. صح يا ركان? 10 hours, 10 multiply 15. So to know the total of the money she will earn at the end of the month, we multiply صح? The number of the hours by 15. What's the 15? How much money she take? 2 hours, $30. مظبوط. 3 hours, $45. 4 hours, $60, and go on, right? So we don't know the number of the hours. So the total of the money she wants to get is $225 or what? Or more. Right? So the total of the hours with the money should be what? We said we multiply the number of the hours by 15, right? What is the number of the hours? H multiply 15, not H15. شو بنحكي؟ 15H. So 15H. I want this 15H to be at least 225 means more than or equal 200. What we did now, we wrote the inequality. We what? We wrote the inequality. Now we need to solve it. So part 1, to determine your variable. Part 2, to write your inequality. Now part 3, you need to solve your inequality, right? So let's solve the inequality. 15h more than or equal 225. How will we solve it? Yes. Yes. Both sides by 15. Do we need to switch the inequality? No. Why? Because we divide by positive number, not negative number, right? So here I will rewrite the inequality. 15h more than or equal 225 over 15, and here also over 15. So h should be more than or equal what? 15 also. 15 hours. Got it? What's this mean? H more than or equal 15. What's this mean? What's this mean? Yes, Yama. She must work either 15 or more to get $225 or more per month. Do you understand? Do you understand? This is important to know, to understand the solution. H more than or equal 15, and H represents the number of the hours. This 15 here different from this 15 here. This 15 is the number, the amount of money she take each hour. But here the 15 here we talk about hours, huh? But by coincidence we have the same number. Don't mess with them. H more than or equal 15. This means that she needs to work at least 15 hours or more to take $225 or more. Do you understand the answer? Good. Here, if you go to your book, guys, if you are in your book, you have empty square, see it? In part B, fill it. X more than or equal what? 15. This is the answer. They represent the number of the hours by X. We use H, so it's okay. But let's graph this in part C, they graph it, right? Let's graph the solution and understand it more. It's important to understand the solution. When you have a solution, it's important to understand it. Now let's graph it. This is 15, closed circle. And we go where? Now, remember when we check the answer, we select random numbers in the regions, right? So let's select random numbers. Look here and be careful, please. If she worked 17 hours, is this okay? Yes. Let's check. 15, each 1 hour, $15, right? If she works 17, yani more than 15, yani here. 15 multiply 17, 255. 255. Is it more than the needed money? Yes. That's why any number 15 or more is correct. If she worked 10 hours, 15 multiply 10, 150. No, I need 225 or more. But if she worked 15 exactly, and it is acceptable, it is what? Do you understand the answer? Good boys. This is example 1, page 365. Hope you understand it very well. Done? It is solved. If you want to write it, okay. Again, guys, it's important to understand the question. It's important to define your variable. This is, we call it, let h be the number of the hours. This is, we call it the defining of the variable. 3, it is important to write the inequality correctly. Because if you have any mistake in writing the inequality, here you'll have what? Mistake. It's all mistake, right? Then it's very important to understand the answer. Yes, Mr. Done? Huh? Mohsen, look at the board حبيبي. See example 1. طلع كتابك بسرعة. Link earns $15 per 1 hour, right? Look at me. Link earns $15 in 1 hour if she works in the zoo. You know the zoo? Good. Each 1 hour she take how much money? $15. Got it? Now the question asked me how many hours she need to work to get money. Look at the board. 225 at least. At least means more than or equal. So how we know the type or the amount of the money? We multiply the number of the hours, which is h. We don't know it. Multiply how much money she take in each hour. Got it? So 15 multiply h, more than or equal. Have it from where we get it? From the word at least. How much? 225. We divide normally and we have the answer. Okay. Fine. Now let's go to the check of example 1. Check of example 1, page 366. Okay. Read يا نجم يلا. Dominic has invited 12 friends to his birthday party. Continue. Good. You want to make a party in your house and your father tells you that I will give you $75 only. And your friends is 12. You have 12 friends. You need to invite them in your birthday party. And your father tells you that you only have this 75. I don't care about. So what you will do, you will do everything, but you cannot spend more than the 75, right? So either 75 or what? Or less than or equal. You understand it? So now, yeah, no more than means what? Less than or equal. No more than. مش أكثر من in Arabic words, right? طيب. Do we know how many persons we have? 12. Continue. Right? For each person to determine the budget for each person. Yani how much money you can spend on each person, right? So let x be, they use x in the answer, right? Yeah. So we are in the check. Page what? 66. Yeah. Let x, let's determine, let's determine the variable, right? Let x be the money for each person, right? For each person. We don't know the money for each person. But I know that we have how many friends? 12. طب assume that, focus with me now. We need to prepare the inequality. Assume that شو اسمه الولد؟ Dominic spends 3 hours on each pair, $3 on each person. What's the total money he spent? How we get it? A 12 person multiply 3, صح؟ طب assume he spent $4 on each person. I have a 12 multiply 4. So to know the amount of money he will spend in the party, we multiply the 12 friends by the amount of the money for each. But do we know the amount of the money for each? We call it what? X. So what I will do, multiply X by the 12 to know the total of the money, right? So 12 multiply X, what we say? 12X should be what? Less than or equal ish 75. Less than or equal 75. So I defined my variable. I wrote the inequality. Now I need to solve it. Then I need to graph it. Which one? Which part A is the correct selection, right? Part A. In part B, they want us to solve it. In part B, they want us to solve it. What is the solution? Let's solve it. Yeah. So we have a 12x less than or equal what we said, 75. Divide by 12 both sides. Check. Do we need to switch the inequality? No, it is not negative, the 12, right? So x should be less than or equal 75 divided by 12. Huh? 6.25. 6.25. What's this mean? Now let's understand the solution. What's this mean? This means he can spend on each person 6.25 or what? Or less. Do you understand? Again, what's this mean? This means that this Dominic boy, he can spend $6.25 or less. He cannot spend more than that, because if he spends more than 6.25, assume $7. We are assuming, right? 7 multiplied 12, 84, which is bigger than the 75, which he has only. Got it? So which one? This one, D. The correct one is what? D. In part C, what we need to do, interpret the solution. Means to talk about the solution, what you understand from the solution. They said Dominic can spend 6.25 or less. اكتب. بصير تحكي كمان at most 6.25. Any word you can use it. So let's use at most together. Dominic can spend at most $6.25 on per person on party favors. Does the question ask me to graph it? No. Part A, they want me to find the inequality. Part B, they want me to solve the inequality and find the solution. Part C, they want me to interpret the solution only. Do you understand it? Thank you. That's all for today. Sorry, guys. That's all for today. Tomorrow, inshallah, we'll continue. You don't have homework for today. Thanks.